Here we go. All right, man. We haven't done a pop-up BS sessions because Mark's schedule changed at work. But today I'm off because they're having the service awards at work and I got bumped out of a shift. So they gave me the day off. So what's up, guys? We got the
What's going on?
Mooger Fooger. We got Tim Raznick and Jerry could have Jerry has a new show that he's excited for called Pop Goes the Rock Star or something. I forgot. I don't remember the name of it. They're recording that tonight, so he unfortunately can't be with us today. But I suggest when he brings those shows out, you guys check it out with Joseph Staub and Andy Rodriguez, man. It'd probably be cool. I don't. Ever since Billy Corgan said about rock voices have been silent since 1997, and he said why, that they just fed pop music into the machine, the record companies, the radio stations, the media, because it's cheaper to make, cheaper to control. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to promote any newer pop stars anymore that are fucking just pushed in your face. I want to find the pop stars that are not pushed in your face, the rock stars that are not pushed in your face. I love Youngblood. But that guy is being pushed in our fucking face right now. So I got to find some people under that guy that isn't being pushed in our face. That the machine is not rolling out there for our consumption. You know what I mean?
I
We
know,
oh yeah.
I know Cirrus, especially like the Boneyard is totally fucking behind Youngblood. And it's like, he hadn't done anything.
Well,
Haven't put an album out. I mean, he hadn't done anything.
it
It just takes a few people to say, oh my God, it's the best new thing. And next thing you know, you got the
well,
Well, Osbournes behind,
yeah,
you
that's
got
what the
every other, you
music
got,
industry is all about, is the best new thing.
right. And I
It's
think,
like you should be
whether he,
behind your veterans that have proven it,
yeah,
you know?
and whether he asked for it or his management specifically pushed for it or somebody's paying a lot of money behind the campaign. Who knows? He's just got a lot of good people and big people kind of
Yeah.
singing his praises. So of
And
course he's going to be, and as soon as that next new thing comes out, the nice shiny penny, you got to make sure that they get pushed to the front and pushed and pushed and pushed until we're
yeah,
absolutely sick of them.
I don't blame Youngblood one bit. I
Oh
mean,
no, I don't
I
know.
have no, if I you can get like his music. anybody behind you in the music business, fucking take it. I mean, take it for
Yeah.
all it's worth. But I'm tired of the music business corporate bigwigs telling us what we should listen to. We need to fight and rage against the machine of the music industry and fucking go, fuck you. We're gonna bring up these fucking independent artists like fucking Dirty Honey. Had no record company backing at all. They pushed it themselves and pushed their own media, pushed this, got on the Black Crowes tour. They fucking
Yep.
they are one of the bands that made it be despite a record company.
There is no reason in today's technology and how everything's rolling today, you don't need the machine. Do it yourself. You have podcasts, by the way, which have a very loud voice. Streaming, shit. I stream everything that's not in the mainstream. Some mainstream, that's just my choice if I like it.
We
Um, but
we
I've
had
taken
this.
control. I think we've all got the means now to take control. We don't need to listen to the radio station that is paid to play the same 12 songs in a day. We are not held captive to MTV anymore because it doesn't exist. We are free agents of music now. We can go stream, we can listen to podcasts and get turned on to stuff. You just got to look for what you like. And once we find something we like that might not be so much out in front of people, it's kind of our duty to bring it to the forefront. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. But at least we can bring it up. We can push it out there on
We give them a
our own on podcasts. I can listen to anything I want to in the course of a day. I do not need to listen to FM radio, AM radio.
chance.
I don't need to listen to what's being pushed at me. I get to choose it. And that's all of our freedom that we have right now.
It kind of reminds me of Rush when they bringing out their new drummer, giving her a shot. And that's
Fuck
you
yeah.
like it or you don't, but here it is.
Right. Right.
And
They're not pushing it. They're not
I
pushing
think
it.
that
They
is
made it.
great. It is unbelievable. A band like Rush,
with the
Yeah.
credibility of Rush. Come here, young gun, take a shot.
They made it
Yeah.
be despite a record company. The record company says make singles. They made 2112.
Yep.
So we need more of that. I like Youngblood. I like his music, but you know what? He's got enough backing behind him. I don't need to review his
Oh, he's
album. I don't need to talk about him or promote him on our shows. Let's find like Gunshine, Florence Black, fucking even
Mhm.
even though they're broken up, Bourbon House.
Bourbon House. Bourbon
They're
House
a
is
good band.
great.
What was
They're
Uh,
that
really
band we did not too long ago, like Parabellum or
Parabellum.
Paramore?
Yeah, them. Let's promote them. They don't have a machine behind them, you
Right.
know.
And so that's what I love about like the free form or the BS, or we can bring up bands like even old classic thrash bands like covering Testament, that people like, oh my God, that sounds so good. I didn't know Testament had shit out before The
hmm
Gathering or,
Well, we're at least Mark told me, and then we're doing a Nazareth review.
Yeah.
yeah.
Who the
Yep.
fuck has heard of Nazareth nowadays?
Except Hair of the Dog, I think, or Love Hurts.
Yeah,
That's it. The two
nobody.
songs that
But
I
we're
actually
doing it
know by that
because,
band.
because that's who we are.
That's me too. I fucking Naz. What? Oh, they did that. Oh, I know those two songs. I like the Triumph
Oh.
cover better of Love Hurts, but but
Our biggest joke is when Ryan's band, Hair of the Dog, would come. They came through Fort Wayne a lot back in the day. Like, and my buddy was like, "Oh, Hair of the Dog, is that the band that sings that song Nazareth?" And I was like, "What?"
Reverse that.
Yeah, I was like, "No, Nazareth sings Hair of the
Reverse
Dog."
that.
It's like, what?
I'm just saying, there's just so much good music out there. You gotta dig and find it. And it's like Decibel Geek, man. I give those guys so much props. They bring out
Mhm.
new, like, what is it? New blood for, I always fuck this up, and Aaron always corrects me.
I think it's either New Blood or Fresh Blood
Fresh
or
blood,
something like
one of those two. The only thing I don't, Chris likes way too many European, Scandinavian bands. It's like,
that's
I
where it's
know.
at. That's where a lot of it
They're,
is at
they're,
these days,
they're
though.
way too polished to be like old like Rat or something or Dokken, Sunset Strip. They're just too clean for me. I like my sleeves dirty. They're not
Mhm.
dirty. That
Well,
stuff
that's
he's
the
bringing.
whole
Well,
It's
whole
just
some are,
point of
some are. You still have like
sleeves.
bands, like classic bands out of Sweden and out of Europe, like the Helicopters. I
well,
mean,
helicopters are really good, and they've been around since the 90s.
a long time, right,
Yeah, a
right.
long
Fu
time. But
Manchu, I think actually you're stateside, but there, but the thing with European countries is they support art. They pay you to have a band. They'll subsidize you. They'll stipend, like give you insurance and give you money to get equipment, put you in a studio. And they develop artists over there. That's why so much of it's coming out. And I agree with you, Mark. Some of it's just like so, you know, pristine
it's
and
cookie cutter.
shiny
It's
and
cookie cutter to me.
clean, and
Yeah.
some of that I really like. I love some of that stuff. But
Hey,
unfortunately Europe's like outpacing the States, I think, at least with what I'm finding with newer
Europe,
stuff coming out.
Europe, as far as metal music goes, or rock and roll, whatever you want to call it, they've been outpacing America for the last 30 years.
Yeah. And I think it's because they're supported. And I
They're
think we
really
have a
supportive. I mean,
lot.
you
there's
know,
there's there's an abundance of amazing American bands, and it's just we need to find them and promote them and push them,
mhm.
and it's up to us when we find somebody we like that we know isn't out there in front of everybody like we think it should be. It's our responsibility to take it to the streets.
Well, Europe
yeah.
also, like the record companies over in Europe haven't killed their product yet.
No.
Yeah, right.
The thing is, I want to promote bands that nobody knows anymore. I'm tired of pushing bands that the machine has already got a hold of, like Youngblood. I like Youngblood. Go listen to him. He's really good, but he's already taken care of by the record companies and the machine. He's good. We need to find somebody that isn't taken care of by the machines. All right. So, but let's get to, Jack Osbourne's naming his new baby girl after his late father, Ozzy. There's a commercial playing in the background.
No, that's my phone
Uh,
or my girlfriend's phone.
All right. So let's go. Yeah, a girl named Ozzy. I bet they're going to, I think it's Mildred, like the middle. They're probably going to call it Mildred, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a touching tribute, but I was like, okay, you're gonna go with her middle name though, right?
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking too. Oh man. There's I always give a weird story on BS. There's a rare condition this lady in the UK has R boobs, and it's a medical condition, and she was banned from wearing a bikini in the UK. I,
What?
I thought Europeans were less conservative than Americans. It must be really big.
Wow. That,
They have nude
that
beaches there, for God's sake. So she can't go on a
Well,
nude beach either?
I, for one, volunteered to check them out and report back.
You'll happily volunteer to be the inspector that keeps that
That's
in
right.
check.
I'll be the guinea pig. I'll take
Well, it's
one
a
for the
dirty
team.
job. It's a dirty job.
I saw this guy's shirt when I went to the store today. It says, I love boobs. And I go, oh, so do I. And then I looked at the little writing on the side. He said, I love my GF boobs. I saw girlfriend's boobs. So, but the I love boobs is so big, it like, I didn't see the girlfriend part at the same time. And I go, smart man.
We used to have a girl in high school named Tracy,
Uh-oh.
and she had a. By the time she was a senior in high school, she was well endowed. I'll put it to you that way. And she used to wear a T-shirt at where she worked. She worked at a newsstand. And used to say, "Vermont ain't flat."
Yeah.
And where the ain't flat part was right where.
I
Nice.
talking
That was hysterical.
talking about when I woke up and I go, I like boobs. The fourth grade, there was this girl named Cameron Palmer, and she was like, boing. And I was like, I couldn't stop looking, and I felt bad. I even left her a note in her desk. I like you. My name's Mark. Gave her my phone number. But then she had a cousin in my
Not creepy.
area. No, I was fine. I was shy, and that's the only way. That's why I got internet girlfriends, because I can't go up to them personally and say stuff to them. But then she had a cousin in my area, and we started playing together. We started playing like ball and stuff, and she was cool, and I never thought of her that way anymore because she was just a cool person to hang out with. At first, I just liked her for her booze, but then I liked her for her, later. And then her cousin moved. I never saw her again. I was like, damn.
That's the way it usually works.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then Sebastian Bach, I'm going to give you guys
Oh,
fun and
jeez.
energy
There
and
we go
twist.
again.
He said he's going to give us fun and
I
energy,
thought you wanted to promote new people.
but he's going to give us fun and energy in Twisted Sister. Well, I said Gunshine and Florence Black, and you also got the Dust Coda, which we'll probably be talking about sometime in the future. Sucks that the singer left. I hope their third album sounds just as good. But check out the Dust Coda too. They got two good albums out. What do you guys think about that? You think even Dee Schneider says he's happy he's in there.
Well, everyone's kind of having a conniption over it. It's like, what's the big deal? They're doing a handful of shows they probably can't get out of contractually, or if the money's just so stupid that they're going to do it with Sebastian, man. I think it's going to go great, and I think he's going to do great, and I think it's going to sound great. I don't know what the big deal one way or the other with it is. I saw the headline and I moved on. I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. And I just kept scrolling.
You
I
know what
think
this
I think I
reminds me of?
predicted it on a BS session. Oh, Bach's gonna join him, and somebody even said, "Hey, Mark, you were right."
You know what
So
this
Yeah.
reminds me of?
what?
Only to a lot lesser scale these days. This reminds me of when Lizzie Hale joined Guns N' Roses or LA Guns
Skid
for
Row.
those
Skid
Skid
Row.
shows.
Row.
Skid Row.
Skid
And
Row.
everybody was like, "Oh, she's joining LA Guns. She's joining LA
No,
Guns."
she did.
There's
She did
no
Skid
way in
Row.
hell leaving her own band. That is
Skid
not gonna happen.
Skid Row, dude, not LA Guns.
She
Or
joined
Skid
Skid
Row,
Row for a
sorry.
couple shows. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
And that's
cool.
why like some headlines are saying D. Snyder has been replaced by Sebastian Bach. No, no, no one's replacing anybody. He's filling in on some shows, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. I think it's going to be fun. I think people are going to dig it. I think Haters are gonna hate, whatever. And I think it'll be a good time for
Because right
anybody who
now
makes those shows, man.
that band's on its last legs anyway. So,
Who's the sister?
I mean, the bassist has said he doesn't care if Twisted Sister continues or not. JJ French is so far out of it, it's not even funny.
Yeah, yeah. It's
He's got his own gig. He's a manager now, so
well, you can't. I mean, look, if you're going to do a fly-in date, they're going to take care of your travel. They're going to put you up. It's going to be so comfortable. You're going to walk on stage, and it's going to be ready.
yeah, and
And
you're gonna get
you're gonna go
paid.
home with a very decent paycheck.
Yeah, I was
Why
gonna
the fuck
say,
not?
I'm sure Sebastian isn't doing this out of the goodness of his heart
Oh, he's gonna get a paycheck too, and
or
it's not
for
gonna hurt.
free.
So
He's getting paid, so
yeah, of course it's business. Absolutely.
that's all his
And
business.
I don't and of course, man, I don't begrudge any band that makes money for doing a show. I mean, you should. And if they want to do it out of the kindness of their heart or a charity event or something, that's completely up to them. But I'm up. I mean, if I'm buying a ticket especially these days, I hope the artist is getting a good paycheck out of it.
Me too.
No
And then
problem.
everything we've all been waiting for, Geoff Tate's Operation Mindcrime 3 album to arrive in May. The production is miles above the original 1988 LP.
Yeah, I'd say the
Okay,
same thing
dude.
about
Okay,
Almeida.
what? Yeah.
This one of my favorite records of all time is Operation Mindcrime
Yeah.
1.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really care for 2. I thought it was like so
It sucked.
unfinished. It just
I liked I'm American. That was it.
Yeah, I mean there's some promise on it, but I put it in with like, okay, man, let's continue the story, let's do the epic songs. And I don't know if it was a lack of
Now,
DeGarmo
now who's
or
doing
what.
this? Queensryche or Geoff Tate?
It's Jeff.
It's just
Well,
Jeff.
he wrote the original, so
Yeah.
Well, he wrote it with
maybe.
all of them. If you look at the songwriting credits, it's all of
Yeah,
them.
but I mean, the original was the pinnacle. I mean, Jesus,
Yeah.
that gave him a career for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and to this day it's one of my favorite records.
Me
And
too. There's no
yeah,
doubt.
so I got high hopes for
That's
3,
one of them
but I'm not
albums,
setting
if
them too
if
high.
you're on a desert island with 5 albums, which would they be? That would be one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd
And
rather listen to that than The Wall.
yeah, I set my I'm actually seeing Geoff Tate in, I don't know, either spring or summer here in Fort Wayne, and I'm looking forward to seeing if he plays anything off of the third one just as a tease. Um like I said, for Operation Mindcrime 2, I was just over the moon excited. And so when I got it and listened to it, I was like, shit, and then so the third one, I'm not putting it on a pedestal. I'm hoping for the best,
Yeah,
and I hope that it
I'm
sounds
not
good.
gonna shit on it right now. I'm not gonna praise it right now. I'm gonna listen
Yeah,
to it. You know.
right.
It's just
Yeah,
Operation Mindcrime 2 just it was disappointing. So we're like, let's wait and see what happens with this. We'll give him some credit.
exactly.
He's been
He
working on
says
this
it
for
was all.
years.
Yeah, he says it was always meant to be a trilogy anyway, and I don't know about that, but
Yeah.
we'll see where the story goes because you had Mindcrime, which was from.
I have that too.
Yep, it was from the kids' point of view, and Operation Mindcrime 2 is from Dr. Evil's point of view, or Dr. X, or whatever his name is. And then I guess Mindcrime 3 is supposed to be a continuation of that stuff.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought it'd be from Mary's point of view. Why not?
$1 million. He said Dr.
A
Evil said
$1 billion. The world doesn't even have $1 billion.
no, they were laughing at when he asked in the future, million. Why don't you try for $1 billion or $1 trillion? That's pretty low.
They'll look at him like, what?
That's it. 1 million. But Adrian Smith says upcoming official Iron Maiden documentary includes a few things that have never come to light before. That's going to be in the movie theater, huh?
In May, yeah.
Are you guys going to see that?
If it's around here, I will. Yeah,
I would like to see it, but I hope it streams too. So if I don't get to see it,
it
it's going
will.
to be on
It
Well,
will.
streaming.
Iron Maiden. Oh, Adrian Smith. I got a little history with him.
Why was he
Little
dick?
history.
Was he a dick?
My back mid 80s, like 84, 85, something like that. He was planning on leaving Iron Maiden and he was going to form his own band. And he happened to be looking for musicians to be in his solo band. My buddy Brent auditioned for him as a drummer and he got the gig. He couldn't do it because, Brent at the time, he was all of 18 and married and had 3 kids, but he got the gig. So we met Adrian at a mutual friend's house and he started telling me some stories about Bruce. And Bruce is not the nicest person in the world. He may be a great singer, but he's not the nicest person in the world. And, it was just like hearing this stuff from somebody that's been there, seen it. I was like, he was fucking blinded out of his head, drunk, but I was like, whoa, because this is one of my favorite bands of all time, and I'm hearing these things. I'm not going to go into detail what he said because it's hearsay anyway, but I was just like, wow, you just never know.
Well, hey,
You
like
never know.
Bruce in his own book, What Does This Button Do? Um, he pretty much fully admits he is, was, and can be an asshole.
Yeah, but specific reasons why he was an asshole
Mm,
that
yeah,
are in the news even today. Not for
yeah,
him, but just for,
yeah,
and I'm like, wow, man, that was blowing my mind. And
yeah.
Adrian's all of 5'2". You
What? He's that
know?
small?
Oh, he's a short little
Oh
fucker.
shit. I've only seen
And
him on
I'm
stage. He looks
I'm
tall.
5'6", so me calling
Holy
somebody
shit.
short, you're short.
I'm
But
6'1".
he could drink. Oh my God, could he drink?
I like
He
to
was
party with that guy.
case after case after case. I'm like, all right.
Hey, Booger, I heard on the Decibel Geek you were going to Monsters of the Mountain. You didn't leave me vacation dates for that. Are you going?
Yeah, it's all on the notes, buddy.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and when I heard that on Decibel Geek, I told my girlfriend, hey, let's go to Monsters of the Mountain. She showed me the tickets for a 3 day. I go, I'm good.
yep, yeah, yeah.
I was almost there. If it was like 300 per person, I probably would have been there
I
for
was
3 days.
almost there, but I wasn't.
I was almost there.
So
So I said, I
yeah,
want to go party
so
with Mooger and Aaron and Chris.
yeah, so the Camaros and the Sunjacks and us, we all got our lodging, which is easy walking distance to the fairgrounds. Um, and I believe we're working out the ticket situation right now. Like my
Oh,
wife only wants to go to maybe one night. She's not really up for the whole 3 days. And so we're gonna kind of figure out where tickets land.
single day tickets haven't
Jamie
come
is
out
supposed to
yet.
be working on that, kind of keeping an eye on that. So we'll see. We'll
Hey,
see.
if you find a ticket package for me and my girlfriend, let me know because
I
she
will do
said
that.
she showed me the ticket. She said we could probably go there because I said I
Yeah.
want to go. I want to go party with Sinzak and Camaro and the Mooger Fooger, man,
Yeah.
and do a
We're gonna,
podcast with them because they said they
yeah.
would bring people on the podcast.
So yeah, we're going to the Monsters things, and after the Monster Fest, the wife and I are gonna go up like 30 minutes away from there. We got a cabin right on a river, and we're gonna spend a few days at a cabin, and then we're gonna go home. So it's
You're
gonna
not
be
gonna
an
have a van.
extended.
You're not gonna have a van by the river.
I hope not. I don't know.
All right, man. So check that out, man. Decibel Geek rules. Go check them out. They're one of my favorite all-time podcasts. I never miss an episode. And Mooger Fooger is always mentioned on that show.
Um, how that landed is that's it's a very easy, boring story, but I'll let Chris tell it sometime.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We need to get Chris back on the show. I wonder if he could do Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoon, Sunday at 4.
We ever have anything that you want me to ask him, I'll reach out.
Oh shit. If you ever pick a Kiss episode, it's either Aaron or Chris.
Oh yeah.
something like that. You need, or Alice
Oh yeah.
Cooper. It's got to be Senzak for Alice Cooper. We need him on there, or Eddie Conestrachi. Anything with Alice or something like that. And also Tim was always on anything. You just bring him on every episode he wants to be on. You're all
Yeah,
you know that Tim.
Happy to have
I'm the
them.
show whore.
I like you being a show whore because sometimes I can't find anybody. I go, Tim, what are you doing?
Like
And
I
then
said, I'm the show whore.
I think this is good news. Overkill to record a new album this spring, summer for possible release in late 2026. I'm
Why
excited.
not? Yeah, Overkill's done nothing but killer records probably for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Everything they've put out has been so solid. And their live show, man, forget about it. I saw a couple of years ago. It was phenomenal. I love those guys.
All right. And then Ted Nugent still doesn't give a fuck about being excluded from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It doesn't affect me at all. I love you, Ted. All right, let's get into the subject. I think it's 11. What did I say? 11
You think?
music arguments, top 11 music arguments that we argue about as fans about music. It's like we say, "Oh, I like this. Oh, fuck you. This is better," or whatever. We're gonna do that. I think this is cool. This is just like music discussion. Like we say something, I like it, you go, "Oh no, you need to listen to this. The fuck that shit," or this guy's better, this guitar player rules, stuff like that, man. So let's get into number 11. I'll start with you, Mooger.
Ah, well, this is in absolutely no specific order. I just kind of threw these together. So, not necessarily related to any band in particular or an artist in particular, streaming, like the worldwide streaming, is it fair to the artist? Has it ruined the product buying experience? A lot of people love streaming, a lot of people hate streaming. So yeah, man, arguments arise from when you want to open up a discussion about how everyone feels about streaming, not everyone agrees. And it sometimes can cause an argument. Myself, it's got a lot of pros and it's got a lot of cons.
Mhm.
And what I do miss is like just flipping through the albums as a kid or CDs while I was in college and finding a cool band name or album cover and not really even sure what genre it was, but I'm gonna pick it up, man. And I'm gonna take it home. And it was something, it was exciting. You didn't get to stream it for, hours or days or weeks before you decide, yeah, I'll go support them with a physical copy.
I
I think it
miss
screwed the artist and I think it screwed the shopping experience, the product buying experience. But I love that it has opened up an entire universe of music that I would never have seen in a record store.
I miss the excitement, like
Yeah.
like Moog was talking about. Like I remember back in high school, I was working at Burger King.
I
Friday
worked there for
afternoon,
3 months.
Friday afternoon, to get paid. First place I'm going, Record Giant, right across the street in the plaza.
Yep.
And first thing I'm doing is I'm going to the new releases section and I'm looking, you know, who's out, who's out, who's out. Oh, these guys are out. Oh, this guy's.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just the excitement between going from Burger King across the street from the record store was just mind blowing. It was great. And nowadays it's like, oh, yeah, they get a new album out. Okay, I'll check it out. But
Yep. Yep.
you couldn't wait back then. I mean, it was, you couldn't get there fast enough.
You,
And back in the day, they didn't release 5 or 6 singles off a record before it was
yeah.
released. You heard
No, they
one,
didn't
maybe
release
two.
the
You got
album
one
before they
single or one
released the album.
video. Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
it.
Like maybe two if they were really hyping it. But yeah, usually like that big one. And you
Mm-hmm.
haven't heard the rest of the record. That was the excitement, man. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, it's
man, I
like,
know I love the single, but what else is on here,
yeah, it's
man?
like I wonder what else is on there.
Th-
I
This
wonder
is
what they're doing.
this is like
Right.
me, what you said about getting your check from Burger King. My first job from 87 to 93, In-N-Out Burger. I didn't have any credit cards. I didn't have to pay rent. I lived with my mom and grandpa. So Thursday nights, because the In-N-Out delivery truck would come bring our checks, we'd be sitting there waiting for that truck to come in. Our checks come in? No. And then we come back. The checks come? Yeah, here's your check. We take it to the liquor store, cash it. I'd get my ass straight down to Tower Records in West Covina and spend that whole motherfucking $300 check on fucking CDs.
Yeah, and the excitement.
Easy. It was easy
It
to
was
do.
the
It's
thrill. You know,
easy.
it was an actual thrill.
Especially when Tower Records had sales by record companies. Oh, all these CDs are by Warner Brothers. The affiliates are all on sale this week. And then the next week it's CBS all on sale. So I'm like Pink Floyd, Pink Floyd. I'm then Warner Brothers. I'm like Van Halen, Van Halen, blah, blah, blah. I'm like going all this shit because they were on
Mhm.
sale. And I just spend my whole, and my mom goes, "Where's your money?"
And
Pulled it out like a stack of CDs.
people
Yeah.
today don't know that excitement, that
Dude,
thrill.
that was
You
just my
know,
favorite thing was just to go. Well, and also I had to save $50 for an ounce of weed. But but
Yeah.
the rest of it
Yeah.
went to CDs after that. And I'd
Priorities,
be
man.
smoking that weed, listening to those new CDs, going,
Yeah.
ah. It was
And
like a rush. It was like a rush to go buy those new CDs. It's like
yeah.
now you
Yeah.
hear it, and it's like, God damn, where's
Exactly.
that rush? It's like when I hear one single from a new album that's releasing, I won't listen to the other five until I buy the album. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna fucking distract myself with it. I've only heard the one Black Crow song from the album.
Hmm.
It comes out Friday, tomorrow,
Nice.
and it's coming to my house. And I will stream it because I can't throw it in my car right away, but I will stream it on the day I buy it on
Yeah.
Amazon so I can listen to it on the
Well,
way to work.
yeah, speaking of that excitement, I'll get off the topic and move on. But like when I was like in high school and I had odd jobs here or there and I get 20 or 30 bucks, man, I was going to the record store. I was picking up a Hit Parader or a Metal Edge or a Circus magazine and I was getting a cassette or a CD. And I remember like having 20 bucks, but there was four cassettes I wanted. I could only get two. With $20, you could get two
You had to
cassettes and you had some
decide.
change.
You had to decide.
Yeah.
Even when I
So,
was a kid, my grandpa would give me like 20 bucks. And at that time, we had CDs, vinyl, and records. The tapes were $5.99. The CDs were like $18.99. So I go, what I could get three tapes for this money instead of the
mhm.
three, I could get one CD and get one tape. So I'd always go for the tape so I could get the majority of the music. Yeah, you had to budget what you could get. And then what you couldn't get, you went to Columbia House and made up fake names.
Yeah, I think they were coming around knocking on my door the other day. I just heard.
That's a good. I love that. Your number 11. Tim, what's your number 11?
My number 11 is I'm going to go with the old tried and true argument. Who's better, the Beatles or the Stones?
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't pick that. It's
Hmm.
always the
Yep,
Beatles.
that's tough because in my opinion, they're two completely different bands. Kind of come from the same, same area, whatever, and they're both based in the blues, but it's like the Beatles were the Backstreet Boys and the Stones
Don't,
were
don't, don't,
Guns N'
don't, 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 don't,
Roses.
don't, don't, don't. Dude, you're gonna piss me off when you just called
No,
them
no,
that.
I'm just no, I'm just kind of making like they both started coming out in suits and their quote unquote long haircuts and playing like very proper. And then when the Beatles went like straight on psychedelia hippie, which is awesome, the Stones kind of tried to do that and I think kind of failed. They were just a
All their
drugged out
psychedelic albums are
hardcore
horrible.
party band.
To
But
me, the Stones were always a blues band,
the thing
always,
is,
and the
Yep.
the
and the
thing
Beatles were always a pop band.
the thing
Yep.
is
I
that,
mean,
that
you
I
know,
I try to tell people all the time.
their first hit was what the hell was that?
Beatles wrote the
Beatles.
Rolling Stones wrote the Beatles wrote the Rolling Stones first hit. John Lennon gave them one of the throwaway songs, and so I'm
No,
just
but the
gonna
Beatles' first hit was "Love Me,
something
Let me
like that.
do.
Let
But
Me Do."
the thing is how you
I
said
mean, that's a pure pop
you
tune.
called the Beatles the backdoor boys there. The thing is the Beatles could fuck up the Rolling Stones in a street fight because one thing, the Rolling Stones were fucking rich boys. while the Beatles were fucking slumming it in Liverpool and playing Berlin fucking clubs to get their fucking foot in rock and roll. The fucking Rolling Stones were taken care of by their parents. They were middle class. They had money. The Beatles were fucking poor fucking boys out of Liverpool. And they are the street fighter. The fuck the street fighting man. Fucking Rolling Stones are thinking that was the fucking Beatles. They would fuck up the Beatles in a fucking fist fight, in a bar fight. Fucking John Lennon would fuck them all up at the same time. Mick
Well,
Jagger's a pussy compared to John Lennon.
as
Well,
Paul
now,
Stanley
now,
would say, it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters where your head is at.
The
yeah.
thing is, the Rolling Stones were fucking fake street people, while the Beatles were actually from the street. That's all I'm going to tell you.
But I don't have a dog in this fight because for my entire life, the Beatles and the Stones have just been two different bands.
Yeah.
Great bands, both achieved amazing things, but to me, there's never an argument. They're both great. I never ever looked at those two, who's better. My kind of saying is if you're into rock and roll today, like hard rock, heavy metal, rock and roll, whatever age you are, it depends on timeline. Either you came in at the Beatles, you came in at the Stones, Zeppelin, or Kiss. That was pretty much everyone's gateway into this. But if you came into the Beatles, you're probably coming into the Stones at the same time.
But the thing is with the Beatles made heavy metal riffs, and the Stones never did.
Eh,
Just letting you guys know that. Fucking Helter
eh.
Skelter. Hello.
Like I said, two different bands for me, man. Just two different sides of a
I
coin.
could
It
argue with
spins
that,
the
but
same,
that's
just two
beside the
different
point.
sides.
And Ozzy didn't say the Stones made him want to be in the music band. It's the Beatles.
Yes.
No, they created metal. I'm just saying that. But my number 11 is like I always get this. When I always go Slayer sucks, I get all these opinions. You don't like metal, blah blah blah, because you don't like Slayer. And I just laugh them off, but I go, I like a lot of metal. I just don't like Slayer, and there's nothing wrong with that. And
Yep.
it's
You're
like
moving on. Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
I'm just the people
We
get
got
pissed.
10 more things to
I
talk
know,
about.
but I'm just that's my number 11. If people say Slayer, I say Slayer sucks, and I get the fucking hammer down on my head. You ain't a metalhead. You know what? I'm cool not being a metalhead because I like a lot of music that isn't metal, but I like a lot of metal also. Just because I don't like Slayer doesn't mean I don't like metal. But let's get to number 10, Mooger.
Oh geez. My number 10, once again, in no order. So this has been a topic of discussion, and there's other you guys will definitely connect the other band that this affects, but who is better for Motley Crue, Vince Neil or John Corabi? Did John Corabi inject a new life into them, a new direction into them? Should it have been Motley Crue? Should it have not been called Motley Crue? And is Vince Neil just the face and the voice of Motley Crue, and they're better with him? I mean, I have this all the time, this conversation. I say I love the 1994 record. I'm fine with them calling it Motley Crue, and I thought it sounded fucking terrific. I was not a fan of Vince Neil's singing pretty much past Dr. Feelgood, and I did not like pretty much anything on Girls, Girls, Girls. So that's where I'm at with that argument.
Uh, all I got to say in that is Karabi. I think he could have very easily taken over that slot and made them a much bigger band than what they are, were, whatever. But I think certain forces in the band decided they wanted the money.
It
So
just came into branding when you're riding so high off of Dr. Feelgood. And then they bring in Karabi. A lot of people didn't buy it. A lot of people didn't like it. Shows weren't selling. Shows were getting canceled. Album didn't sell. And well, yes, bring in the ingredient that seemed to sell. And that's what they were
as I
kind of
said,
forced to do.
money.
The
I
thing
think
is,
artistically they were happier with Karabi.
I think
Nikki
they
Six will
sounded
tell you
better. I
something
think
different now.
Karabi brought in a fresh new look on music. I think the songs were better than anything since Looks or Shout.
Mhm.
Here we go with the music machine called Warner Brother Elektra. Warner
Yeah.
Brothers Elektra was not happy with them changing lead singers after they just signed a new $100 million contract with that record company. And they changed singers right after that. And they really did not promote that 94 album because they wanted Vince back in the band. To their detriment, when they did force him back in the band, he got Generation Swine.
Which was
So
being wrote with Karabi.
yeah, and I don't blame Karabi for that album at all because I think if he was fully involved in that album, it wouldn't have sounded that shitty.
Oh, yeah.
So I go with
Like I
Karabi.
said, there are certain forces within that band that caved.
Yeah, they did. They caved to the machine
Mhm.
because and
Well, you
luckily,
pay to your mortgage, you pay to your lifestyle, you pay to
mm,
your Maserati and Lamborghinis and everything in the driveway.
And your
So,
porn star
gee,
girlfriends and
do I want to be
your
artistic?
cocaine habit and your
What? Drinking habit, hooker
Mhm.
habit, whatever. But it's like, do I want to hold on to my lifestyle or do I want to be artistic? And very few bands find the in between. It's like, well, we think we're really branching out and making better music with Karabi, but shit, people didn't come out to our shows. They didn't stick with it. I think if they
Yeah,
would stuck with it,
we're
it could have
making
led to
better
great
music with
things.
Karabi, but I still have a Lamborghini payment and I still have a mansion
Right.
payment and
but
I still have, I got three girlfriends on the side besides my wife and they need
Yep.
money. So
Bunch of kids
the
and a
thing
drug habit.
is, Nikki was like, fucking, we're writing better songs with Karabi. We're a better band with Karabi. And after they kicked Karabi to the curb, so this band has always been about Vince. Fuck Karabi. He didn't write really
blah
good
blah blah.
songs. Blah, blah, blah. He started doing the company shit. And it's like, dude, you're so hypocritical, Nikki. This is why people don't believe you anymore
Well, you got
because
to
of
remember this is the
94.
same guy that was a heroin addict but kept a diary.
If you're a heroin
Yeah.
addict, I can't even remember when I'm really
Now
stoned to
that's
write shit
that's
down.
pretty fucking good because I've never heard of a heroin addict keeping a diary other than Nikki Six or
Yeah,
Frank.
Frankie. All right, so what's your number 10, Tim?
My number 10, I'm gonna go with oh, here's an oldie but a goodie. Ozzy Dio.
Hmm. Yeah. That's
That's still being argued today.
that's always going to be an argument. And I don't think it needs to be. Once again, I just think it's two different bands. I think you had the
Well,
Ozzy era, then you had the Dio
yeah,
era, then it went on to every hop Tom swinging dick that would roll through the band.
I think Dio is a much better singer than Ozzy, and
Hmm.
I always will as far as technicality, what he can do with his voice, everything like that. I think Dio's the greatest singer to ever step
Hmm.
on a stage, but I by no means am not going to listen to Ozzy era Sabbath. I'm not going to not listen to Gillan era Sabbath or any era Sabbath. You know what I mean? They're my favorite band of all time. So of course I'm going to listen to them. So
Yeah,
it's like I never saw the argument, like they changed singers.
exactly.
Okay. They got
Yeah.
heavier. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a
It,
natural progression to me.
the funny thing is, I heard like all of the classic Ozzy Sabbath growing up, right? And then Ozzy was a solo artist, heard that.
Hmm.
Then I got into Dio as a solo artist. It
Hmm.
wasn't until later I realized he was in Sabbath for a few records. And then I didn't even realize, I don't know, he was in Rainbow. And then
Yeah.
and then he was in, oh, he had a band called Elf. And I'm like, holy shit. And but the Sabbath, Ozzy or Dio, Ozzy or Dio. To me, it's not an either or. It just it is and it
Yeah,
is. It's just
exactly. Exactly.
different.
It is.
They both
Yeah,
exist.
I got
So
into Dio because of the Black Sabbath stuff, Heaven and Hell from my friend In and Out Burger. Um, but man, I wasn't really into Ozzy until I heard him with No More Tears. I've said this before. And
mhm.
No More Tears got me, oh, and then I went back, oh, I know this song. I know Suicide Solution. I know this Mr. Crawley. I know all this. Why didn't I get into this later? Because I thought they were evil. because I'm a Christian and I fucking was stupid. And I'm a Christian, but the thing is, I'm not going to judge people because he's talking about man. Man is inherently evil. And that is fine to talk about how the evil of man ruins the earth. You know, that's fine. But the same with Iron Maiden. I thought 666, oh God. But then I listen to the song, I read the lyrics, and go, wait, they're talking about Revelations. This is all in the Bible. I'm fine.
Yeah. Well,
I
it was
never,
the whole image and the whole satanic
yeah,
panic
I
thing
never
that
got into the
they
whole evil thing. I just got into,
right.
hey, this is great
Well, I
music.
did.
And to be honest, man, like when I was a little kid, I was like buying Cyndi Lauper and Quiet Riot, okay? So I'm like
You
flipping
bought
for
Cyndi
those
Lauper?
LPs. Oh yeah.
Well,
And and
I bought Madonna.
yeah, there you
I
go.
did
And
too.
then
I bought a
I flipped
Madonna
through the
album.
Ozzy section. And I'd see Diary of a Madman. I'd see the upside down cross and the dead bird and his look, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so evil. The music absolutely wasn't not. It wasn't that. They were just pushing an image. And my mom, bless her heart, man, Bible. She was never a Bible thumper, but she was a Bible owning Christian, man. Wednesday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night, Sunday. And she never had a problem with me bringing Ozzy or Slayer or Kiss or anybody into the house.
My
She was like,
grandpa had no problem with
yeah.
me bringing in Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, and he was a
Yeah.
pastor. So
Well, it was shout at the devil. It wasn't shout with the devil. It wasn't shout for the devil. It was
no,
shout at the
no,
devil. It was a it was a song against the devil's
yes,
deeds.
stuff like that, man. So that's a
Oh yeah,
fucking
there's a whole nother topic of discussion.
yeah.
But
We
yeah.
could do that. Remember that for Freeform, Mooger. Write that down.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and then I get to my number 10. Is glam metal metal?
Yes. Yes.
I agree. You know, you listen to the screaming guitars. These people are in hard drums. Just because it has pop mixed into it, it's a light form of metal. It's not Black Sabbath, and I think Poison is just as metal as Black Sabbath. I Warrant, I can Quiet Riot, Striper. Again, they have the pop elements to it. They have the sing-along choruses, but they have the fucking great musicianship. Maybe not as much as Poison, but I think Warrant was a great fucking band. Winger is fucking metal as fuck. And I always get this because Winger ain't metal. This
Yeah.
band ain't metal. They ain't Slayer. They ain't Metallica. I go, metal has a lot of different subcategories of metal. And I always get in this fight with people, and I always leave it alone because I just let them fight amongst themselves, and I like the
It
conversation.
all comes down to your perception.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I never, I mean, what's your definition of metal, quote unquote? You know, I always classified those bands like Winger and Warrant, and they're good. I'm not going to lie. I like them. I enjoy them, but they're not metal, in my
And
opinion. They're hard
and
rock.
why would I even argue with you about that? Because it's perception of what do you perceive as metal? What about you can say rock or rock and roll. That could
Yeah.
be anywhere.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Huey
these
Lewis and the
bands that
News.
weren't
That can
people
be,
that don't call metal got them into Metallica, Slayer, and they were the jumping off point for these people to get into harder metal, you know. And that's what I'm saying. They might be metal light, but they are still metal because rock. You don't hear Springsteen going with a fucking great fucking. You hear fucking Warren go. You're Red
Yeah.
Beach go the fuck off.
What do you want to count as metal? It's like, okay, when I was 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, hair metal was metal to me.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't even heard Metallica yet. Sure shit didn't hear Slayer or Morbid Angel or Deicide or any of these bands that are metal or even Sabbath, really. So yeah, that was metal to me.
yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
it's
is Venom metal?
when I listen back to it, it sounds like
I
oh,
mean,
like Deep Purple on speed.
yeah, it's, you know, some people would say yes, some people would say no. It's your definition of what metal is.
I just get
Right.
these people thinking it's got to be dark, it's got to be slamming, it's got to be evil to be metal. Not all metal needs to be evil. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
I don't. It all metal doesn't need to be dark.
No.
To me, like Bob Seger, Boston, even Guns N' Roses, to me, that's rock. That's rock music. And
Mhm.
Aerosmith is rock music. When metal, for me, in my opinion, in my vision, is a loud, distorted guitar with like a riff. Like when you can listen to it and go, that's a riff. Like, In My Dreams by Dokken opens up with a kick-ass metal riff, in my opinion,
Mhm.
and goes into like chunking bar chords. And I think it's just how everyone perceives what metal is. Some people think it has to be dark. It has to be evil. It has to be doomy. No, okay. If that's your version of metal, awesome. Once
Like
again, this just isn't an argument for me. It's just like, yeah,
like a band like Evanescence. Is that metal?
Yeah, they got metal elements. I give it to
But
them.
it's not dark. It's not doomy. It's
some
not
of it is,
gloomy.
Bring me back to life. That's a little doomy.
You know,
Save
but they're
me.
a little bit gothy. And yeah, I would definitely,
Yeah.
I'm with Mark. They have metal and elements in it to me because I can hear a good ripping guitar riff and a solo and
Yeah.
heavy drums and bass. And I'm like, well, or does metal need to have Cookie Monster vocals to be metal?
yeah. Because I listen to liquid metal on Sirius, and a lot of them bands I'm listening to on there, like I can't even think of names. I'm like, that ain't even music, let alone metal. That's just a bunch
Yeah.
of noise. And I guess I'm old now because I'm sounded like my old man. That's just a bunch of noise.
I agree. I listen to that every now and again, and I'm like, hey, this is a really cool new song. Or they play something classic metal that I
Yeah.
really like, and I'm like, that's cool. And then they're like playing something, and I'm just like, what? Huh? Get off my lawn.
Get off my
I'm
lawn.
pissing it off.
All right.
Oh
So
my
then we get
God.
to
Yeah.
our number nine, Mooger.
All right. Kind of going back to the streaming thing, but it's kind of take it back to the roots. It was Napster in the right by pushing songs out there for free when artists were throwing 20 songs on a CD because they could, and 16 of them are suck ass, and like two maybe good songs, and you're still paying 19.99 for a CD in the early 2000s when they said in the 80s paying $20 for a CD, oh, the price is going to come down. Well, it didn't. And I, for one, supported the fuck out of Napster. Finally, I could sample the shitty CD before I spent my money on it. I would never download an artist as full onto a CD and share it, or even for myself. It was used as a listening platform, putting my toe in the water, sampling a record before I went out and spent money. But I still spent money on it. What do
Hmm.
you guys think?
I didn't get into Napster. I didn't even know about Napster until the lawsuit. I got into Kazaa because I didn't get a computer to 2001. So I didn't know
Yeah.
about Napster was basically almost gone by then. So I was like in Kazaa and stuff like that. And I was getting stuff. But the thing is, I downloaded a lot of shit back then because I wanted to know what it sounded like. I agree with you like that because I was tired of spending 19 bucks on a CD and go, fuck, this sucks. The only time I did that was with artists I trusted. And that ended with Tesla Shock. Because I bought that album and I was in total shock after listening to that album. They fucking that I gotta go stream this. I will listen to the first the Black Crows. I have give it this new album better fucking kick ass tomorrow, by the way, because I love the first song. But I agree with you. That was good until streaming came out and Napster created iTunes and all this shit that you could go buy music, buy it. If you like it, buy it. I always say if you stream it, you like it, go get it because one buying one album gives them more money than a million downloads. So
Oh, yeah. Easy. And I hate what it turned into.
Yeah.
I hate that the artists are getting bent over on streaming. I hate that. But at the time, I was a fan only because I was tired of shelling out money for CDs. And by
Yeah.
the way, just because you
Yeah.
can put 20 songs on a CD does not mean you need to put 20 songs on a
In
CD.
the beginning, it was cool. You had Def Leppard, Hysteria. You had fucking Doc and Back for the Attack. Those were great hour long albums to me. But then it
Mhm.
started getting watered down. Let's fill the CD with
Then you
all these
got
fucking
Kiss Hot in
demos.
the Shade.
Yeah, let's fill all the CDs with demos. I think they in the beginning they tried to put quality songs on the whole album, and then they just got lazy. That's just
The
funny.
one I bought that I was really pissed off about was it was a Journey record. I cannot even remember the name, and it was not with Arnie. I think it was his name was Algieri.
Oh, Steve Jerry was it the
Algieri?
yeah.
I don't know. All I know is it sucked. It had like
Oh, I
one good
like that
song
album.
on
I
it
like that album
and a
with
whole
Jerry.
bunch of shitty songs on it, and it was really
Have you ever
long. Yeah.
have you ever heard that EP they released with Jerry called Red 7 or
Uh,
something?
Probably haven't bought anything of theirs
Oh,
at all new since that.
that is a great EP with him, dude.
I'll check it
But
out. I do have to check them out more.
yeah,
So,
No, but Napster, I use Napster. I use Kazaa.
mhm.
But I used it
Steve Jerry,
to
Jerry
just,
album.
all right, what does this song sound like?
Right.
What are they doing now? All right, let's go buy their album. Or Jesus Christ, what the fuck,
Right. I ain't spending money on that shit.
My own personal review,
That's all I used it for because we did have something here in Fort Wayne called Blockbuster Music. And you
I
could
remember
go in
that.
there, grab
I
a
had that.
CD off a shelf. They would open it, put it in the listening station for you. You could sample it. You
Mhm.
didn't want to buy it. They just put it back, re-cellophaned it, put it back on the shelf. And I love that. I used the
Yeah.
shit out of that until they didn't. Everybody was going in and listening to the CDs that were shit. No one's buying anything.
Was it
Oh, that
Arrival?
sucks.
The album by Steve Jerry, Arrival?
That was it. That was
I
absolutely
like
it.
that album, dude. I think
I
maybe
did
you
not
should go
like
back
it.
and listen to it,
But
dude.
I do think it was the height of hypocrisy with Lars,
Hmm.
and they're throwing out their debut album to the crowds. Go listen to it. Send it to your friends. To let them listen to it. It's like
Yeah.
kind of what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
check out the
Like
album.
like
Check
with
out
Napster, you weren't even guaranteed to get the full song.
no.
All
You know?
Check out the EP they did after Arrival called Red 13 with a jury. That is a
I will
kick
do.
ass. That is
I
kick
will.
ass, dude. Seriously.
I,
I liked
I
Arrival,
absolutely
but
will check them
it
out,
was
man.
spotty. And I did see them on that tour at Staples Center with it was Journey, the headliner, and Styx and REO Speedwagon. Styx and REO
Hmm.
Speedwagon kicked ass.
I saw the same tour came through
Yeah.
Fort Wayne on that album. Yeah.
And he sounded
Um,
great.
yeah. Anyway, I mean that's I know it just causes debate and it opens it up. And I know that kind of thing led to, like you were saying, Mark, that Apple Music finally said, hey, we'll give you the song for 99 cents or the album for 9.99. And man, I bought a shit ton of albums
Yeah,
digital
I
like
did
that.
too.
And I still do support artists. If I really like the record, I'm buying the CD, the digital download, and the vinyl. And I did that with Seven Dust on their probably last 3 or 4 record releases. I've loved them so much. So, and if I love a band, I will support with the product. Otherwise, you're going to get streamed, and I pay a hefty amount for a family streaming plan. So if the artists aren't getting the money, somebody is.
All right. And then you're number 9, Tim.
Oh, my number 9. Looking over my list here. All right. Here's one. I've heard a lot of people argue about Judas Priest's best album.
What?
I've heard the argument it's everything from Screaming for Vengeance to Firepower to Defenders of the Faith.
I think it's Sin After Sin.
Well, there you go.
Uh, I I could put together a greatest double album of my favorite Priest, but what's my favorite Priest record? The one that I mean, there's two or three. I mean, one of them is Painkiller because of the timeline that it was in my life and how much I just absorbed and loved and mimicked that record. And then the other one is I'm probably one of the few quote unquote metalheads that fucking loves Turbo. I think it was a fucking
I
amazing
love
record.
Turbo.
And after earlier than that, I'm gonna have to go Sad Wings of Destiny was fucking
That's a good
epic.
one too.
Yeah,
I gotta go Screaming just because
yeah.
it's the first major Priest album that I heard. And that really, I mean, Priest, I'd always heard Priest like, Sad Wings of Destiny and, and all this other stuff. And it was like background music. But then Screaming came out and it was right in my face, oh, wow, Judas Priest, and wow, let's go back and check out British Steel. Let's go back and check out, and that made me go back and go through the catalog. And they got a long fucking catalog, It's like, Jesus Christ, I didn't think it was this long.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, so I gotta say Screaming for me personally,
Yeah.
timeline. Cause it came out what, 82? I was
Sounds right.
84, 83, 82. I was freshman going into my sophomore year in high school when that came out. Or
Okay.
maybe
That that's
sophomore.
a very impressionable age.
Yeah. And then I go for my number nine. It's like an argument that everybody gets in it because nobody could tell it. No, everybody's got their opinion on this. Like I say, Eddie Van Halen's the best guitar player of all time, and then somebody goes Jimi Hendrix, somebody goes Jimmy Page, somebody goes this guy, that guy, this guy. We we're all right. We're all right
Mhm.
on that guitar player. Don't tell somebody they're wrong because they picked a guitar player you don't think is better than this guitar player. And I'm gonna go 987 on this one. I'm gonna just let it get it going a little bit quicker on this like we do now. Best drummer, same thing. Neil Peart, John Bonham, Keith Moon, blah blah blah. Fucking Slayer drummer. And then my seven is Megadeth versus Metallica. Who gives the fuck cares? Let's just fucking like what we like and just that's my 987, man. What do you guys think about that stuff?
Uh, I would go with the like the last one there, your seven
Megadeth
was
versus Metallica.
yeah, it's not that's almost like we were talking earlier, like Ozzy or Dio. It's not an either or, it just is. And his favorite guitar player, just that is per the person. Same with drummers,
Yeah.
same with singers. And in my opinion, I got a lot of favorite guitar players for different genres, for different settings. Like Joe Satriani, I think, writes some of the best instrumental music because it's a song. It's a song. It's not just playing. And I think that Ace Frehley was perfect for Kiss. I think he fit that pocket perfectly.
Mhm.
Um, so there's just nobody beats Les Paul for his innovation in guitar and his chicken picking. So there's different best favorite guitarists and drummers for different
Yeah,
scenarios. So
that's,
everyone's gonna have
again,
different ones.
opinion. So,
All
you
subjective.
know,
But then you
opinions are
get
like
these people
assholes.
going, "You're wrong. It's not Eddie Van Halen. It's Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's Jimi Hendrix. It's this
Mhm.
guy. It's
Oh, I've
Let
fucking
heard
me just
Stevie
tell
Ray
them,
Vaughan. I've heard Randy Rhoads. I've heard Jimmy
yeah."
Page. I mean, you name the great guitarists, you've heard them. I
yep.
mean, versus Eddie. And it's like Eddie was friends with 90% of these guitarists. So,
And then
know,
then the drummers, it's like the same shit. It's like
that's always going to be the same shit because
yeah, and
it's
then
opinion.
Mega Dave versus Metallica. It's like why can't we like both? It's like I think Metallica is a little better than Megadeth, but then you got people going Megadeth is better than Metallica. It's like an age-old article. Uh,
And And to
It just
to be
is and is,
totally
man.
fair, if you had three people on here that were in a different age group than us, you would have totally different different answers coming out.
Yeah. And then let's go three at a time because it
Yep.
goes faster. This is what we usually do. So 654, Mooger.
654 on me. Well, let's just do this. I'm going to start with AI in music. And these three are going to be tied. So kind of tied together in theme. So what's your thoughts on AI producing music, assisting with music? Is it okay for it to create new music? The other one will be, what do you guys think about bands using tracks? Not mimicking, but just using tracks to fill in, production. And then what do you think about bands going up on stage and everything's Memorex? They're not playing, they're not singing, even though it looks like they are. So, what are your guys' thoughts on AI tracks and full on mimicking a show?
AI,
AI, no.
I think if it's done right, I mean, if the consumer knows that you're getting an AI album or whatever,
Mhm.
then all right. And as far as lip syncing, I'm totally against it. I mean, that just proves you don't have any talent. Unless you're on like a TV show where you have to be done in a certain time and you have to cut it and all that. As far as
Yeah, well,
backing tracks go on in like a concert,
yeah,
I have no problem if like they're coming out and there's like a choir singing and the band doesn't have a choir, or something like that just to enhance the show, not
yeah,
be the show, but enhance the show. I
Yeah.
don't think that, like, I'm against like bands hiring guitarists and putting them backstage to play. I understand why they do it, but if the guy isn't good, put him on stage then. You know,
right. Yeah. So, like, yeah, my thoughts on it, first off, Mark, what are your thoughts on those three things?
I'm going AI, creating music. No. If we're using it as a tool to help you clean up stuff, okay. But writing the song, instrumentation of the song, no. It needs to be 100% human for me. Um, what was the other thing? The
Uh,
tracks,
just like
backing tracks.
supporting tracks, like supporting backing
Supporting
tracks.
tracks are cool. You can't take a full orchestra out on there. Like Striper with Yahweh, they needed to use that orchestra in the beginning. That was fine. That's fine. And people in the background playing instruments, no. The one dude did that for Ozzy. He was in a booth. God dang, Lynch Mob. God, I can't remember his name right now.
Logan?
No, not Logan. The other Lynch Mob singer, the second album. He's
Oh,
on in Warrant now, the singer.
Oni.
oh,
No,
Oh, not Oni.
no, 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 no.
he's in Warrant now.
Mason.
Robert Mason. Yeah, Robert
There it
Mason
is.
was in a
Yep.
booth singing background for Ozzy. Just bring him on stage. Aerosmith always brought that extra keyboard player on stage. Other bands bring on extra musicians. Green Day brings on two extra guitar players,
Mhm.
which is cool, and they're on stage with them. I just bring them on, man. You need to fill out the show. We don't need to have it in the background.
So
And
AI.
people.
Yeah. Oh no, go.
And what was the last one you said?
Like full on like mimic. And this is not talking TV shows where that kind of production,
No,
you have to
lip
mime
lip
it.
lip
But like
syncing.
going on tour, going in front of 20,000 people and your band and you are not live.
Pulling a Motley Crue? No, no. I don't want to see fake. If I want to see fucking karaoke, I'll go to a karaoke show. I don't want to see this shit.
Well, even karaoke, you have a
Not
live
even
voice.
karaoke because
It's
you're not
live.
even
It's at
singing.
least live,
So
but I'm saying I don't want to see somebody playing under the stage for Nikki Sixx's bass or somebody mimicking fucking Tommy Lee's drums. No, I don't want that. I want it fully live, unless you have an orchestra, which is okay to fill out
Right,
your sound.
right. My take on AI is if it is used for you personally to maybe get an idea or work out an idea, or if they use it to enhance like the Beatles songs, like bringing up a vocal
Yeah,
or
I
or
agree with
or
that.
correcting a vocal or bringing something out from the past. No problem with that at all. If somebody were to put together 10 songs in a fictitious band that AI created, which it can do very easily now, that's a whole new frontier, and I don't know what to think about that yet, but right now I'm leaning towards I don't like it. As far as backing tracks in a band, I have no problem. If you guys are up there and you are all putting it out and you want to like bring in an extra guitar, uh, like maybe do the harmony solo while somebody plays the solo, but you got to pipe it in, no problem. Keyboards, choirs, spaceships, car crashes, whatever. Track that shit in. I have no problem even with some of the newer techno heavy bands I listen to. Well, I'm sorry, they have to have their laptops because that's where all the samples were built that they built using their imagination and their mind. Yes, it's still like a thump, 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 but somebody put that together. AI didn't put that together. I don't have a problem with these traveling with these laptops and having them on stage to do some of the production and the music because they're still up there singing and they're still up there playing. They just got a whole nother set of tools backing them up. I don't have a problem with that. Going on tour, hitting 20,000 people in a stadium and not playing your fucking instruments live, they should be shot. I
Yep.
don't I don't agree with that at all. Now, if like I said, if it's in a setting where you know damn well all the bands are going to be lip syncing because of that kind of production, commercial, get out by commercial break, get back in. I have no problem with that. But don't take it on the road to a big platform and pull it off like you're trying to be live and you're not at all. That's for the
Yeah.
horses.
And
Yeah.
then you, Tim, you're 6'5'4".
Oh, my 654. Okay, my number six. Did Jim Morrison die in Paris or did he just vanish? Did he just stop being Jim Morrison?
So like he just got away from the fame and the
Yeah,
look
he
and
just
the
stopped being Jim Morrison.
but he didn't die. That's what people are, yeah, the
That's what
conspiracy theory.
people,
Yeah.
because they never had an autopsy. The body was buried a day later. Nobody saw him dead except for Pam Corzin, which she was so fucking out of her mind at the time, it wasn't even funny.
All right.
So did he
It's
die or did
interesting.
he,
It's fun to think. It's fun to think
yeah,
about
did he
for sure.
die or did he just vanish?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Led Zeppelin's In Through the Outdoor. Is that really a Led Zeppelin album? I've heard
Why
that.
wouldn't it be?
I've heard that because it doesn't
Yeah.
sound like Led Zeppelin.
Uh,
I could have gone
Coda
like
now on the other end may not
I
be,
could have
but I
gone,
thought
yeah, In Through the Outdoor versus Coda, but the worst Led Zeppelin album there is. But
right.
and I'm gonna go with Diano or Dickinson. I've heard that argument.
They're both perfect for the records they were on,
I
in my
agree with that.
opinion.
Blaze Bailey could fuck the fuck off though, but those two are
Yeah.
perfect for Iron Maiden.
Yeah. I think Iron Maiden wouldn't have had its following if Bruce was, I think, started out on that first record as him as the singer. I think it had to be Diano for those, like it brought in that whole new wave of heavy British heavy
Mhm.
metal crowd, which is kind of like post-punk crowd, it's because they were, Diano kind of had that punk look, punk attitude, and he brought a lot of that crowd in. And then when Bruce came in, they kind of went into the stratosphere with production and whatnot. But
But
yeah, man, I
more
think you
metal
needed
look.
both. You needed both of those. You needed both of those guys.
Hmm. Like Dickinson had a more metal look, quote unquote,
Yeah.
the long hair and
Right, right, exactly. Horrible
I
bangs, but yeah.
yeah,
horrible,
I
horrible.
those
I
are
don't know who
horrible
cut his
bangs.
hair, probably him, but
He got a bowl.
But he
But
had the
yeah,
spikes on, and
and Jim Morrison, I don't know, man. Maybe he's alive. A lot of people seen him
no, he's
like
not alive
Elvis.
today. But
Oh, everybody
did
sees
he live
Elvis
past
too.
1971, whatever it was,
Yeah.
72?
It's like Mojo Nixon says Elvis is everywhere. Remember that song?
And
Yeah,
that's the debate I heard was he didn't die in Paris.
Yeah.
He lived on, and
Well, he kind of wanted to
he
get
got sick of the fame, and he got sick of
he
the
got sick of all that. So I could see that happening with him, but I don't know. We don't know. Maybe all this
it's
will come out to light one day. We never know.
fun to think about.
And then my 654 is, did grunge kill metal, or did metal kill grunge, or did metal kill itself? And Scab Kiss, always hearing about Scab Kiss that, Scab Kiss that. Tommy Thayer, Fake Fraley, Cheater Chris, stuff like that. It's always in our groups. And then vinyl versus CD. So I don't think grunge killed metal. I think the record companies killed metal. Like I said, they were going to the next big thing and they stopped promoting metal. And I don't think metal killed metal. I think it kind of got a little cheesy. But the thing is, I think the record companies wanted it down because metal was hard to deal with. Metal, they were all on drugs and ate overdosing, and they were hard to deal with. They wanted something that was easier to control. So, and then Scab Kiss, I don't give a fuck about Kiss. They're a good band. But fuck it, all you people, all you Kiss fans, Scab Kiss, fuck Scab Kiss, fuck. But a lot of you guys like Scab Kiss. And that's fine with me. And then vinyl versus CD, I love them both. I don't give a fuck. What do you guys think?
Maybe pick him.
Um, Kiss. I hate to bring this up, and I hate to remind people of this, but I don't understand the term scab kiss. I don't get it because are they the original members? No, but Kiss has been changing members right along, so I don't understand why
Well,
Eric
because
Carr can come into Kiss and is perfectly fine.
but Eric Carr was wearing his own makeup. Tommy Thayer came in and became the spaceman.
That's
Eric Singer
yeah, but
became the Catman. That's why they call him Scab Kiss, because they're stealing the makeup.
Eric Singer came into Kiss when they didn't have makeup on,
Yeah,
and it's
but then
perfectly fine.
he put on the Catman makeup. Why they called him Scab
Well,
Kiss?
that's not their doing. I mean,
No,
that's Gene and Paul going, you're going to wear this,
but
you're
it's an
going to wear
argument that's
that.
been going on for what, 20 years?
Hey, I'm gonna chime in as I'm the bigger Kiss fan here, the
Yes, you
only
are.
big Kiss fan here. Um, I look, man, I think when I was a kid, I was just a kid. I was like in first grade, kindergarten, when Peter Chris exited and Eric Carr came in. It was cool that he had like a new character and new makeup because I was still young. And then when I Ace left and they brought Vinny on as with that stupid gold cross on his face,
The
and it was
Unk
called
Warrior.
Inca Warrior.
the Ankh Warrior, and I was that's when I thought, okay, this is getting silly. So when they brought Tommy and Eric into the makeup era of the band, I sure as shit did not want to see a new character out of that. I wanted to see the Catman, the Spaceman, the Star Child, the Demon. However, when I was growing up, that whole Spaceman, Star Child, Demon, that shit happened way later. When I was a kid, it was Ace, Paul, Gene, Peter.
Mhm.
And that's how they signed their notes on their Kiss Alive album. When you open the gatefold and you read their little personal notes, it wasn't the demon, the star child, the spaceman, the cat. It was Gene, Paul, Ace, Peter. That's how they signed. That's how I always knew them. So when they started shifting members, I could care less because I just wanted to see them continue and be successful and put out good music. To me, they did. And then later on, when they put the makeup back on, did the cash grab, happy for them. When members started dropping out, I did not want to see Poodle Boy on the drums. I did not want to see, Bob the Builder on guitar. I don't want to see a new fucking character. I wanted to see the classic concept. That's all I was looking for.
What about
I
vinyl
agree.
versus CD? Anybody got?
I love them both. Uh, am not annoyed. Eddie Trunk seems to make, taking 3 steps to the record player and flipping a record over is just like going on a 5K fucking run.
I got it right
But
here.
I I love them both. Yeah, I can get up off the sofa and change the record. I'm usually walking around the house anyway. I'll just flip the record. I love CDs for trips, but hell, I don't even use a CD hardly anymore. It's either XM radio or it's streaming
Mhm.
on my streaming Apple Music, man.
I
That's
just
how I listen
I
on the
just bought a
roll.
I just bought a 2015 Jeep Cherokee. It doesn't even have a CD player,
Wow.
No, that they don't. You can have them optioned to be put in the trunk. That's
but
how
it
my
doesn't even
buddy had
have
to
one.
get like his 2015 or 16. It was right around there, Camaro. He's like,
Mhm.
dude, doesn't even have a CD player. They had to add it as an option and they put a multi-disc
Yeah,
changer in your trunk.
Oh, you
but
know they did that in the 80s where you had those multiple disc treatures in your truck. That is rad. I like that. I
Yeah.
want that in my car.
it's got Sirius radio, and that's well all you need as far as
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, as far as your music preference.
As
I
far as
got my
sound
phone. I
goes,
put all my CDs in here that I want to listen
yeah.
to at the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
And
even
I
as
still
far
buy
as
CDs.
sound goes, a lot of re-release vinyl is being sourced straight from a CD.
Yeah, and it's
Mhm.
horrible.
So is the set, but the sound is still a little sweeter on vinyl, even if I am listening to a digital transfer to vinyl, because I'll put on these headphones and I'll Bluetooth into my record player and I'm walking around. I was like, God damn, digital does lose something
As my
because
bu-
what I,
It's compressed.
yeah, as my buddy, that's exactly what my buddy said. And he's an audiophile. He loves his albums.
It's
yeah,
not
He
as
says
airy.
CD,
Vinyl is like
even
airy.
CDs, he says they're compressed. They're not.
Yeah.
You get a much fuller sound on an album.
well, hey, digital, everything digital is zeros and ones,
I'm
ones
like,
and
yeah, but
zeros, zeros and
you can't
ones.
bring your
So
record player in your car.
It's like
He said,
Rush
why
says
not?
1001001 SOS. Okay.
there you go.
But then we get to let's do three and two and we'll do one separate. So three and two, Mooger.
Okay, 3 and 2. We've already covered this a little bit, but you have the whole is my number 3 is going to be the whole Roth Hagar, situation. Do you like the Roth Van Halen? Do you like the Hagar Van Hagar era? I came in right in between, right at the tail end of Roth and the beginning of Sammy. So to me, there were just I can put on all of those Roth era records and fucking rock kick ass, rock balls. And I can put on my Sammy stuff, which doesn't have a lot of balls, a lot of it, but a lot of it does. And I love them both. It's never an argument with me. It's just like I have two different Van Halens in my world. In my world, some people's like, nope, Roth was it. That's it. They were done. Some people think, well, I came in on OU182. That's where I started. That was my start here point for Van Halen. Then I went back, but Hagar's it for me. Okay, you're right too, because that's good for you. No
Mhm.
one's the only argument I'm going to get into is if somebody points their finger in my face and says, you're wrong for liking the Hagar era.
I hate it when people do that.
Yeah, it's like, don't tell me I'm wrong. Not because to me, I'm not wrong. This isn't a right or wrong decision. It my decision. And it don't put your that's the only time I would argue about it. And the only argument would be is just don't tell me I'm wrong. You can disagree with me. That's awesome. Just don't tell me I'm wrong for liking what I like. So yeah, that's a tough one, but I think that's been hashed to death. And I was with you on this one. I'm just going to repeat it there, Mark. Is like, did grunge kill hair metal or the 80s glam rock or the 80s fun rock or what girl boobies, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, whatever. It's twofold. The industry definitely saw something new and shiny in their little precious ring, and they had to kill everything else and push their precious ring. That definitely happened. That's a fact. But I was tired of the toughs, the Pretty Boy Floyds, the, Sweet FA, whatever the fuck that was. And I'm thinking,
Brittany
okay,
Fox.
you guys are just like running out of originality. Your songs suck. You're mimicking everybody now. And for every poison, there's six toughs. And it was like, okay. I was pretty well done with that shit anyway. And then when I heard Nirvana, I fucking loved Nirvana. Fucking love Nirvana. Fucking love Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Mother Love Bone, Pearl Jam, all that stuff that hit. People say ruined or killed Warrant's career. Well, maybe Warrant kind of killed their career, I mean, but then the whole entire industry just flipping that switch
Did you hear
didn't
Dog
help
Eat
matters
Dog?
either. So, hmm?
Did you hear Dog Eat Dog?
Yes, one of my favorite fucking
I
records.
don't think they killed their career. I think the record company just dismissed it.
They were self-destructive inside that band. That didn't help. And then the machine flipping the switch on
Yeah.
everybody absolutely didn't
Well,
help.
the music industry started signing these fucking bands that had no business being signed, but they had
Thank
the
you.
look,
Yeah.
quote
Right,
unquote.
right.
They didn't have any fucking talent, but they had the look.
Danger
Whatever the
Danger had
fuck the
talent
look
with a
was.
guitar player.
Danger, Danger. I fucking love that band,
I
but
liked some of it, but
they were getting a little silly.
yeah, they were
Yeah, it
getting
was getting
silly.
stupid. I mean, they just kept diluting the product.
Thank you.
It's
Yep.
like enough is enough. Well, Enough is Enough was not a hair metal band. They were a psychedelic rock band, but they got lumped into that shit and they tore themselves apart also,
Well, a
But
lot of these hair bands weren't hair bands. Tesla was not a hair band,
no,
but they were
No,
lumped in with them because they had
yeah,
long hair. Well, big
yeah.
they
fucking
never
deal.
even looked like a hair band.
No. And I mean, a lot of these bands, and these bands, to their detriment, decided, well, if we're going to be called a hair band, we might as well start looking like a hair band. And so the
Yeah.
spandex came out, and the hair grew, and and all this shit, and the hairspray went in, and
Yep.
all this crap, and it's like fucking Goontown out there in California. What the fuck,
Exactly. So when the new edgier, you know, quote unquote grunge came in, I just thought it sounded like 70s rock or 70s Sabbath or 70s Deep Purple. I was like, oh, these guys are all right, man. And
Mhm.
so that's my three and two. So
All right. So what's your three and two, Tim?
My 3 and 2, it was touched on, but I put it down. Nirvana, Nevermind, the album of the fucking millennium, or just another music album. And my number 2, I had to go with Sammy or Dave. Because
Yeah.
I hear that fucking argument forever and a fucking day. And
I
my
think we
take on
might
it
have
is,
already picked that
because
one.
I'm a guy that came up with the Roth era right from the start, from 78 when the first album came out, right through to when he left in 85, 84, 85. You know, I'm a Roth swinger when it comes to Van Halen. Sammy, they might have been a good band if they'd have changed their fucking name. But I would say, like with the Hagar era, the best song that I ever heard from Van Halen in the Hagar era was 316.
hmm. Well, and I think you'll find
That's because
that
Hagar
that
wasn't
the
on it.
argument that goes with that argument is not only, what do you like, the Roth era or Hagar era? The same argument that attaches to that argument almost every time. Should they have changed the band name? Like, should
Mm-hmm.
Motley Crue have changed their name with Corabi? Should Van Halen have just gone on and been the Brothers or whatever they wanted to
Van
call the band?
Hagar.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah. That could have been.
Simple,
Yeah.
but
I mean, but that's always that I love that debate because
because
that's always the debate.
they went from a hard rock fucking icon to a pop music. Eh.
And you know what? The one argument I hear that doesn't hold water with me, everyone goes, well, 1984, that was really starting to lean into the pop era. And I was like, have you listened to that entire record?
It's
Because, yeah,
because
you
of
had a lot of,
Jump and I'll Wait, those two
right.
songs.
Yeah, well, even I'll Wait is just a heavy fucking song when you really
Yeah.
listen to it. It's just very keyboard heavy. But oh my God, you have Panama and Hot for Teachers. I mean, those are slamming songs, man.
Mhm. Oh, they had House of Pain on there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I get that. I get it. I get the argument. I get it.
And that album to me, 84, was they went in, they said, look, we have these tracks and they're finished. And they had All Wait, they had Jump, all of the more poppy stuff. And it was like, okay, well, we got to make this a Van Halen album. So we'll put on House of Pain because it was already a done deal. That track was already in the can. And, we'll put on a couple of these others and it's the same thing with Diver Down. They went in and say, well, hey, we got these 5 originals, and well, we'll do the rest covers.
Right.
Yeah.
Good argument though.
I well, I'll get there. I haven't got to mine yet. But my number 3 and 2 is today's music versus the old music. I always hear this thing. Today, old music is way better than. I kind of agree because they kind of took their time to make that shit. They kind of like when it's not rushed. Well, a lot of old music kind of was rushed because they made an album a year back in the 70s. It's like Rush would have one in 73, 74, 75, but they were same thing with Kiss, but and then they started going 4 to 5 years between albums, but I don't know. I don't think people actually musically go into albums and actually track list them. They don't sequence them the same as old music did. And I see that argument, but I always hear that also. And then I get Bon Scott versus Brian Johnson of AC/DC. Who's the better singer? I love them both. Bon Scott's my favorite, but I don't give fucking Brian Johnson any fucking degradation at all. He made there's not to me there is not one bad AC/DC album in their entire catalog. I love them all. I might like the Bon Scott ones better, but Brian Johnson has made some killer music with him. And Back in Black is their biggest selling album of all time. Would Bon have got there with Back in Black? We don't know. But what do you guys think about that stuff?
What was
Today's
your three?
music versus
Oh, okay. Well,
older music.
define old music. I
Like
mean,
the
I'm
70s
52.
versus the two right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, like I talked to some kids at work that are 21, 22, 23 years old. When I mention Creed, that is ancient to them. They weren't even born.
90s.
You know? So that's like predates them. And so, that era is old to them. So, but to me, yeah, man, it seemed like in the 70s and even in the 80s and definitely some of the 90s, bands were nurtured, produced, developed, given room to grow and a budget and good producers and studios and just really, really fleshed out records. And today I could probably make a record right here on my laptop with this shitty microphone and these earphones
You
and
can.
and get flush it out in about 6 hours,
Mhm.
and it that's probably the difference. But I think there are even a lot of young kids coming up, and they're longing for that analog past, and they're bringing it back into the future a little bit. Not everybody's pushing the digital. Some people are bringing that analog back. So I think that's just a multifaceted question slash argument discussion
You know,
because what old music to what new music. I mean, there's
what you're saying there is like Billy Corgan said on his podcast when he's talking to the bass player of Hole, Melissa. Great episode. You guys should check that out. That is a really good time capsule of the 90s, by the way. And he was saying that his Spotify demographics are 35 and under to listen to his band right now. And he says, well, the
awesome.
kids are getting it. They are tired of the machine that's coming out. They're going back and listening to real stuff. And I love that. I hope it keeps going that way. 35 and
What's
under is
old
pretty
is
damn
new
good.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I get that, man. And then you were talking, what was your number two?
Brian
Brian
Johnson.
versus Bond.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Once again, not an argument, man. It's just it is and it is. And it's like, oh my God, the live album with Bond, If You Want Blood, You Got It. Oh, so good. And then, you can't deny Brian's success with the band. I mean, come on. I don't I never took it as who's better. Which ones do I like better than it's across the board. I've got good albums, good songs, bad songs. It mixes up for me. So that is not an argument to me.
Yeah, as far as like my favorite decade of music, quote unquote, is the 70s. I'm a 70s junkie. I think that back in the 70s or back in the 70s and the 80s, early 80s, musicians were musicians. They took that seriously. They took that profession seriously. Nowadays, musicians are musicians, they're authors, they're writers, they're actors, they're producers, they're you name it. But back in the day, it just seemed like they were musicians. That's what they were. You never saw like Brad Delp in a commercial, in a TV commercial. Unless it was a band promo or something, but you never saw him doing a commercial. You never saw, any of these artists from the 70s or the 60s or the early 80s on TV, unless it was a TV show with the band, when they were on they're the musical guest or whatever.
Mhm.
Nowadays, you can say good or bad, they're branching out. They got their shot on it with the album, but they're in TV, they're in commercials, they're in, soundtracks, they're authors, they're you name it. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I just know it's a thing,
Well,
you
it
know.
started with Frank Sinatra.
Oh, I remember like Madonna,
Well,
she started out with music and then she went to movies and then she went to, she got her own production company and she branched out.
Don Johnson, Bruce Willis.
Don Johnson, yeah. But they were actors before they were
I
musicians.
know, but you got Frank Sinatra.
Eddie Murphy,
He was a
you know,
musician before he was an
yeah,
actor.
Eddie Murphy,
Uh,
but it just seemed more commonplace. And once something is commonplace, then it grows. I mean,
but I think that
when
started
something
with the
takes root, then
I
it
think that
grows.
started with the musicals. You got Bing Crosby and stuff like that. They were doing music and movies at the same time, so
It's
that's been
just,
forever, you know.
but there were bands like in the 70s. You had like Steely Dan and
Yeah.
and Aerosmith even, and just even some of those just classic rock bands. Studio was their lab, man. That
Yeah,
was their cheap trick.
that
I
was their
mean,
profession, and they took that profession
yes. And they were
seriously.
professional musicians, which meant they're
Mhm.
on somebody's dime in their house having to produce something great, and the pressure's on maybe, but they want to be artistic, they want to develop, they want to breathe. And the whole industry just got away from that in a big way. It's
Well, I know like both Becker and Fagan, when they were in college, they were at the famous, I forget the name of the, but it was some house in New York City that employed songwriters.
oh
And they were
yeah,
two of the songwriters that they employed. So even back in college, they were
yeah,
professional musicians. They
right.
took music seriously.
Yeah.
It was their
It
job. They
wasn't a
punched in,
it
punched
wasn't a
out on that
passing
shit.
fling.
Yeah,
It wasn't a, we'll do this on the side. That was their deal.
right. Bag it.
So what about Brian Johnson and Bon Scott, Tim?
Oh, me, I'm a 70s fan, so I'm a big Bond fan. But, you know, I got to give my props to Brian because but it was two different types of music in the same band. I mean, to me, in my humble opinion, when Bond was in the band, it was a heavy blues band. That's what they were. When
Mhm.
Brian came in, Brian brought the metal into AC/DC. You listen to Back in Black versus Dirty Deeds, two completely different styles of music, but they're both hit you right in the head, you know. But they're two completely different styles of music. So Brian brought a freshness into AC/DC. He brought the new, I guess you would call it,
Mhm.
the new sound.
Well, what was Back in Black, 80 or 81?
80.
80.
80. Okay. So you got to think that's when the British invasion of heavy metal started coming
Mm-hmm.
in.
Yeah, that's
You
when you started
had,
hearing about Judas Priest and Iron
right,
Maiden and
right. Exactly. So exactly like Judas Priest coming in,
yeah, so
and
he
that was a
brought that over
harder
to AC/DC,
edge.
who was a
It was a
blues.
harder edge.
They were a
Yeah.
hard blues band.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
they
And and
heavy
and you
blues
even
band,
think
whatever you
about the
want to
riff,
call it.
but even think about the minor riff for Hell's Bells.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blues riff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just slowed down. Back in Black is completely a blues riff.
Have a
It's
drink on
just
me.
it's just metalized up a little bit.
Yeah.
And
So
I still, to this
Rock and
day,
roll ain't no noise position
yeah,
pollution. It's
I
totally
would love
blues.
to hear Bond singing that track. That
It's
just
totally
had
blues.
Bond written all over it, as far
Yeah.
as I'm concerned.
Safe in New York
With his
City. It was
voice,
blues.
oh my God.
Uh,
oof.
all right, man. So now we're gonna go to our number one, like Andy Rodriguez does on this show. Woody, it's your number one, Mooger.
All right. Did radio really kill, or did video really kill the radio star?
Yes,
I agree.
they were
And some
ugly.
people say that it saved the radio star. MTV saved the radio star, or did MTV kill the radio star?
MTV killed Billy Squire.
If
No, that video killed Billy Squire.
if if the artist could figure out how to transform into video from radio,
Yeah.
it didn't do it only helped them.
But did
If
people like
the
leave the
artist couldn't
dial on the
figure out how to
radio?
do it, it
Did
killed them.
people abandon the dial on the radio for the dial on the TV?
Oh, I kind of did. I was watching
Well,
MTV all
sure.
fucking day. So I
But
stopped
I
listening
mean,
to
it depends.
KLOS and
Like if you're,
KBT. I was like watching
you
MTV
know,
all day.
if you're a long haul truck driver, no,
Right.
it
Right.
didn't. But if you're just going down to the street to go to work every day, then you're listening to the radio. But if you're sitting at home, a housewife or whatever, you're watching MTV.
Skipping
But that's
school.
the thing. Back in the day, you had that console stereo and you were listening to your dad's favorite AM gold station or your rock station or pop station or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have it on the TV, but now in the home, we forgot the radio and the stereo in the home. The
Oh,
TV
sure.
became the
Well,
entertainment.
anyway, like did did broadcast news kill the radio news?
There you
Same
go.
thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd rather listen to
it
the
depends
radio
on my
news than
setting.
broadcast
If
news
I'm in the
now.
car, I'm listening to the radio. If
Right.
I'm at home, I'm watching whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it, man. Well, it's an honest discussion because
Oh
some
But
yeah,
people
it,
think
but
that
it's like bands like Yes transitioned well into the video
mm,
thing. Billy
like I
absolutely.
Squire
said,
didn't.
if you're an artist that could figure out how to transform from radio to TV,
See,
it only helped you.
I'm going to take Billy
It only
Squire
expanded
when
your
Billy Squire
audience.
when Billy Squire made his videos before that one video, they were all live concert performance videos for him, and they did well. Don't say
Yeah.
no, it was all live concert performance. But when they tried to do a video that was him looking like fucking 80s shit and dancing,
Poopy LaFleur.
they fucking that album was amazing, by the way. But fucking Rock Me
Yeah, great
Tonight's a great
album.
song, but the video did not match the song,
Yeah, it's a great
and it
album.
totally threw his career into a tailspin.
And then he was on the video prancing around
And
Yeah.
he didn't want to make that video; he was forced.
Well, the videos were all very in their early stages even then. So no one,
Mhm.
what sounds like a good idea on paper, apparently did not transfer very
See,
well.
Duran could have made that video,
Yeah,
but not Billy Squire.
right, right.
See?
And Duran, they made many movies. I mean, you're
Yes.
talking Rio, you're talking all Girls on Film, even was a very extended short
But
film. I mean,
he was wearing like fucking what is that called? Yoga
leotards.
pants or what leotards.
Yeah, we're not going to go
He's a
there.
but when we saw him, my kind of love, he's on the stage playing with his band. That's what we wanted to
Yeah.
see. But when he started to rock beach in a fucking apartment just dancing and prancing, we
And
go, what the fuck
besides,
is this?
it was a perfectly fine song on the album, but it weren't the best song on the album.
No, well,
You
there's
know,
better songs on
it
that
could have been
album.
a much better pick to release as a
Yeah.
single
And I
off
liked
that
his
album.
albums after that, but he was dead to radio and video after that song. His
Well,
career
but
went down.
interesting with with MTV, they came out, they were asking artists for their videos,
Hmm.
anything they could put on the network. And you had so many bands holding out going, why would we give you a video performance for free? You're going to pay us. And MTV's like, no, we can't pay you, but we'll, bring your band on. We'll put them in the only rotation we have. So they're going to be
Yeah.
played every other hour. And people are going to notice that it took forever for bands management to actually, oh, shit, this is reaching a lot of people and they're still buying records and they're still coming
Mhm.
to
Because what
shows.
MTV
Okay.
did was take all the English videos because England was making videos for their songs way before MTV. And
Uh,
that's how all these bands like
yeah.
Duran and fucking all these English bands came on there first, Depeche Mode and stuff like that.
Well, they were also very willing, like if they were with
Yeah,
EMI or Apple UK or any of those, they were like, hell yeah, we'll give you
yeah,
our videos and
yeah,
you'll get us free promotion,
yeah. And that's how they got
Yeah,
in
they
America.
got it.
Yeah.
They got it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you
Anyway,
had a manager that could actually see into the future, even a day,
yeah.
you know, you were on MTV. If not, you weren't.
And now nobody's on MTV except 16 and Pregnant. Went
Ah,
went fucked and shit. Tim, man, what's your number one?
My number one was going to be Bond versus Brian. So
Oh wow.
you took it.
Sorry. And then my number one, we already talked about Sammy versus Dave, and like Mooger said, I was into Sammy before I was into Van Halen with I Can't Drive 55, I'll Fall in Love Again, heavy metal song from the heavy metal. I was into Sammy before I even knew who the fuck Van Halen was. So when I liked 1984. I saw those videos on MTV. I got into Van Halen. I not because of Sam. I got in because I was watching Jump. I was watching Top. I was watching Panama. I was watching those videos and I loved them. And then when 50 came out, it took me a while to buy that because I wasn't. I love Sammy, but I was going. I don't know. And then the video for Dreams came out, and I love fucking that guitar solo in Dreams. I went out and bought 5150 because of Dreams. And I've been a fan of Sammy and Van Halen, but I've always said this, and I get shit for it. The stuff that they made with Dave is the best. It is the fucking best. It is sleaze. It is fucking attitude. It is fucking Dave. And the Sammy stuff is more safe, but I like it. I love it. I like pop. I like rock, and I like metal, and they mixed it all together with that. And I will say the Dave era has always been my favorite, but I got both box sets. I love them both. I don't slide, and I like Sammy solo way better than David. Those first two albums by David were good, but Sammy's solo albums just kick his ass. I'm just trying to tell you, saying that. I've always
The
said that.
one thing I think that Van Halen lost, completely lost, when Dave left and Sammy took over was their humor.
Yeah, they didn't.
They were just
You can't fake that humor. Yeah.
they were just like their videos for Hot for Teacher. I mean,
right.
that thing is fucking funny. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, a
Yeah.
schoolboy's dream.
Yeah.
But the song
And their
lent to that
lyrics,
humor.
you know,
The songs that David did lent to those video visions of those songs. Sammy songs weren't as humorous as David, so it didn't lend to that. Because they didn't
well,
even make videos off 5150. They basically had the Blue Angels for Dreams, and they had the live videos from Live Without a Net showing on there.
Right.
They didn't
Right.
make videos to OU 812, basically. So,
There was a couple. There was a couple.
yeah, a couple, man. But
I know that's the only concert I ever walked out on.
I
Uh-oh.
got it. I got it right here, man.
5150.
I'm waiting for my box set. I got my 5150 box set coming. I can't wait to get that Blu-ray version of Live
I
Without a
think our
Net.
lasted 2 songs.
And I love
And they
that
did their
band.
little fucking stage thing they did, and they fucking hit each other, all fell down, started laughing their ass off, except for Alec. He didn't know what the fuck was going on anyway. And I went, fuck this. And I walked out of the Norfolk Scope, walked across the street to a bar, and they had a Dio tribute band. And I went, yeah.
All right, man. So that was our episode, man. 11 things in music you like to argue about. I'll have a better title when it comes out. I'll figure it out. But man, this was a great pop-up episode. I'd like to thank the Mooger Fooger. If you want to see more of the Mooger Fooger, he is on the Free Form Rock podcast and the after show on our YouTube channel. Check that out this Friday. We got Dockin' Under Lock and Key with the great Travis Parada on there. So check that episode out. And Tim, you're just our bitch. We love you, buddy.
Told you I'm a whore.
You're our whore.
I am the show's
You're our
whore.
whore, Tim. You're our whore.
And just thank you guys for being on here. I had a great time.
I don't know if that sounds better or worse.
I had a great time with you guys as always. I love you. I'll see you on Sunday, and I'll see you on Sunday, Tim. Later, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Peace.